SWEGTA. My name is Daniel Lamb, and I live in hell.
Manhunt 2 is a fascinating game. Released 3 years after the now iconic Manhunt 1, Manhunt 2 takes on more of a psychological horror theme as you play the role of Daniel Lamb, an escaped asylum inmate. The game's development was a bit rushed and all over the place. Rockstar North was initially in charge of development before passing on that responsibility to Rockstar Vienna, a studio that would end up being spontaneously shut down due to budget cuts, leaving over 100 people unemployed without any heads up. The game was then given to Rockstar London as Rockstar Leeds and Toronto worked on the PSP and Wii ports respectively. Unsurprisingly, the news media, politicians, and concerned parents pounced on Rockstar Games for daring to develop such a gruesome and violent game. Jack Thompson called for the game to get banned. Megyn Kelly brought on Ted Baer from the Christian Film and TV Commission to lambast Manhunt 2, during which he compared the game to heroin use. And of course, you had politicians like Joe Lieberman and Gargny Clark, Destroyer of Life, also known as Hillary Clinton, pushing for the ESRB to get stricter on regulations. And to make matters worse, both Nintendo and Sony refused to publish adults-only games. And idiotically enough, the same goes for most video game retail stores.
You're gonna get us both killed.
To get around this major setback in sales, Rockstar had no choice but to heavily censor the game. This is why all the executions have this annoying blur effect and flashing lights. It's also why some executions are heavily cut down compared to Manhunt 1. And even though this caused a lot of the original vision to be sacrificed, Germany, Ireland, and the UK denied Manhunt 2 receiving classification, effectively banning it from being sold. As a result, Manhunt 2 sold way less copies than the original, and fans complained about the violence being toned down. So in the end, nobody was happy. Critics were unimpressed, fans felt betrayed, the marketing team failed, and Rockstar quickly gave up on the series after that. If you go to Rockstar's website and look up Manhunt 2, then you'll get some screenshots and a description of the game, and that's it. And if you look it up on Steam, you get nothing. It's not even on there. So you might be asking, okay then SWEGTA, why not play the game on console? Well, I don't know about you, but I don't feel like spending $230 on a used copy of a rushed game from 18 years ago. Despite Manhunt 2 now being abandonware and thus impossible for anyone to purchase online for download, at least in any way that has official ties to Rockstar, it's still considered illegal to pirate this game. I can't buy the fucking thing, so why should it be illegal to pirate it? So I'm not gonna say that I pirated this game. I'm not gonna say that. Anyway, Manhunt 2 has a relatively small but also super active fanbase full of creative people doing all kinds of cool stuff. Whether it's modding, video making, speedrunning, doing interpretive dances of the soundtrack, or patching Manhunt 1 and 2 because Rockstar's never gonna do it themselves, Manhunt 2's community has stood the test of time. So if I'm gonna say anything positive about this game, it's that it has an active and dedicated community of cool people, I guess. But with all that said, let's hunt some men. One stormy night at Dixmoor Asylum in the seedy city of Cottonmouth, thunder strikes. And well, it's never explained, but I assume the generator resets, thus causing all the cells to open. It's a pretty terrible security system, especially when you're running an asylum full of violent psychopaths. And beyond that, it doesn't seem like the orderlies have the first clue on how to handle this. During all the commotion, we're introduced to the game's protagonist, David, Damien, Devin...
My name is Daniel Lamb!
Ah, yes, thank you. So whereas James Earl Cash in Manhunt 1 seldom ever spoke, Daniel Lamb is far more expressive and, dare I say, fleshed out as a character. He's been locked up in Dixmoor Asylum for 6 years, and considering how the patients are treated here, he's not keen on staying. Daniel begins strangling a member of the hospital's staff, Dr. White, who we'll talk more about later. She's not dead, mind you, she just passes out before she can sedate Daniel. He pulls out the largest syringe I've ever seen, and the gate behind him opens. Again, this security system is terrible.
We did it.
What? What did we do? Ask God for a lightning strike? This is pure luck. You didn't do anything. Daniel emerges from his cell, following his only companion, Leo Kasper, a fellow inmate. Something that I like is how the game wastes no time at all introducing the stealth mechanic, and it does so by taking inspiration from a Silence of the Lambs scene that I can't show in this video. If you get spotted or make noise, then the patient you're sneaking past will either spit, pee, or throw feces at you. And I gotta say, this first level does a good job at setting the tone. Even though it's a tutorial section, you do feel some degree of tension as you make your way down the blood-covered halls, hearing other inmates wailing in the background and witness some pretty disturbing details. Whee! Physics! Okay, so the first target is an orderly, and despite Danny's moral objections and belief that the nurse can help him, he's convinced by Leo to kill the man using a syringe. Like the first game, there are 3 levels of executions: white, yellow, and red, ranging from the mildest to the most gruesome respectively. One thing that I like is how Rockstar decided to up the ante on this gameplay mechanic by adding environmental executions, as well as the ability to surprise enemies from an elevated position. Something that I was totally unaware of despite beating this game prior is that executions restore your health. 10% for white, 25 for yellow, and 50 for red. I never noticed this because painkillers were so abundant in just about every section of the game anyway. So in a way, I suppose the game does reward you for using gruesome executions. After killing the nurse, Danny engages in an involuntary personal protein spill and makes his way upstairs. This is when we're introduced to hand-to-hand combat. The game throws a goon at us, and at the encouragement of Leo, we have to take him out. Manhunt 2 does a somewhat good job at dealing with melee fighting. I say somewhat because you are a bit overpowered compared to Cash. I'm honestly a bit torn on this because from a lore point of view, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Danny is obviously weaker than Cash, and yet he's better at fighting than Cash. I don't know. But as far as player control goes, it's definitely an upgrade. If you spend enough time familiarizing yourself with the controls, then it becomes apparent that you can stun lock a lot of the enemies. After grabbing a syringe and patching ourselves up, we find one of the orderlies from the opening and dispatch of him before unlocking a gate.
When I was a young boat.
One thing that always bothered me with Manhunt 2's animations is how awkwardly characters turn.
Resnick, escort Mr. Lau.
You'll often see them readjusting like this before breaking into a full sprint.
Wait there, Lamb. I'll find another way around.
Instead of wasting our time by waiting, we continue our attempted fleeing by using an elevator. The asylum is in full chaos, and reaching our floor, we grab a pen and see the corpse of Leo Kasper. It's a bit of a weird Easter egg, but this could be a subtle nod to the beta models of James Earl Cash seen throughout Manhunt 1. Now before you start feeling bad for any of these orderlies, remember, they are just as violent and sadistic as most of the inmates, if not worse. Maiming and killing patients and high-fiving each other as if it's a sport, these guys have no intention at all of helping anyone but themselves. And the same goes for most of the inmates. I say most because a rare few of them are more afraid than they are aggressive, so I left some of them alive. I know I've mentioned this in one of my previous videos, but the fact that Rockstar used the same eerie PA voice for both Dixmoor Asylum in Manhunt 2 and Happy Vaults Asylum in Bully always stood out to me.
Our orderlies do not beat the patients. Anyone who claims otherwise is obviously crazy.
But yeah, this is the game's first of many puzzles. We have to make sure all cells are closed before a gate opens. Wait, hold on. Why is this not something that all the sections in the asylum have? You'd think the so-called psycho section Danny was in would have had more security than some Randy patrolling the place. I don't know, it doesn't make any sense. So we solve the puzzle, waste another orderly, jump through a window, and spot a nearby garbage truck. But before we hop on board to escape, we have to kill a couple more orderlies, leaving no witnesses behind. I mean, aside from the security camera from the beginning, sure, no one will ever know. And at this point, I realized that the game kind of lied to me. You can actually hop on the truck without dealing with both of the orderlies and just make your way to the next level. Sometime later, Danny begins experiencing severe headaches and dizziness. Leo urges Danny to keep moving, letting him know that there's something Danny left in a nearby abandoned house.
We've got to be quick. This is the first place the project will look for us.
Wait, how do you know all this?
Danny, listen. It's a mean hint.
And they won't stop until we're both dead.
Who's they? Why is there a manhunt? Who's behind it? What are we getting? I guess Danny felt it'd be rude to ask too many pertinent questions, so we head off towards the house without inquiring any of this. And here we meet the Watchdogs, a violent faction of hitmen working for the Project. They're here to kill us, or worse. So this fun little night of urban exploration might not be as easy as one would think. The game now drops us into another newly introduced stealth mechanic. Sometimes hunters facing the shadows you're hiding in will trigger this minigame where you have to keep a dot from from going outside a circle. It sounds easy enough, but for some reason it sometimes has a hard time differentiating whether you succeed or fail, causing the AI to spot you even if you did it perfectly.
Watch out!
This level does borrow quite heavily from one of the earlier sections in Manhunt 1, and I'm torn on whether I like it or not. Manhunt 1 did a good job at introducing various gameplay elements in this exact same fashion, but at the same time, it's not a good sign when the sequel repeats the exact same pattern. Get a blue plastic bag, execute a hunter, get a crowbar, and use it to bust open a padlock. The exact same shebang, folks. The main difference here is that we now have to do some basic platforming. Entering the house, we're jump scared by the ghostly visage of someone.
What the hell was that?
What happened here?
Dude, I just told you, it's a Manhunt. We continue searching for Danny's meds, get jump scared by a child, get jump scared by physics.exe bugging out, and eventually find what we're looking for. But it appears we have company.
Gremlins?
It also sounds like one of them found the jump scare shelf. At this point, I totally botched any sense of being stealthy, so I ended up wailing on 2 of the watchdogs until I won.
Boys, Danny, it's simple.
While continuing the search, I got startled by a watchdog plowing through the window, so I smacked him with the crowbar until I pushed him off the roof. We find the syringe, kill another watchdog, and head back inside. For some reason, Danny, despite having just acquired a syringe from the bathroom, opens the box and finds a syringe inside of it. Wow, cool, yeah, I'm glad you found that. Seeing as how this one isn't cartoonishly oversized, he uses it instead. After injecting himself, he quickly seems to regain some memory and recognizes Leo.
Leo?
Manhunt, Danny, Manhunt. It appears they have some history, but what? Friends, brothers, boyfriends? Depending on the state, it could be all 3. Leo goes on about how the project are after them, but Danny seems far more interested in a box of matches he left for himself, with the name Judy written on it. Well, we are in imminent danger and people are trying to kill us, but, you know, off to Rubber Fist, I guess.
You know this place. The project recruited here. They preyed on people, made them disappear. We shouldn't be here.
No, I need to be here. There's someone I need to speak to. I saved these matches for a reason.
This is not important. It's a distraction.
I want my past back. This is all I have to go on.
The past doesn't matter. Let it go.
I'm going to find a way in.
Who's down there?
Oh, shit.
I told you we shouldn't be here. Are you trying to get us killed?
Well, it's too late to back out now. Let's move.
This level, hands down, is one of the most memorable parts of Manhunt 2, and it's not because of the terrible dancer on stage, it's the gang we now have to fight our way through. These freaks are known as the Pervs. Kitty diddlers, sadists, and 50 other shades of messed up. They're part of the project in one of the most disturbing ways imaginable. More on this later. Using a brick to break our way in, we come across our very first environmental execution. After the dancer wraps up whatever the hell it is she's doing, it's now closing time and the loud music gets switched off. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. After taking out a couple patrons along with the bartender, we grab a barbed-wired baseball bat and use the bartender's corpse to make our way backstage.
Listen up, perverts! If you want to taste the real hardcore, enter the dungeon!
Everything's ready. Come with me.
But who's this? Could this be the person we're looking for? To find out, we will have to neutralize some more of these upstanding pillars of the community. And because they have a rule about only letting in recognizable faces into the dungeon, we don't just put on an outfit to blend in or anything like that. No. That would be, well, logical. Instead, we're gonna opt to grab a nearby fire axe, waste one of them, and chop his head off. All so that we can do this.
Georgie boy, come on in. Jeez, you look like shit.
Entering the dungeon, we're given a scene that borrows pretty heavily from Hostel. One of them is even dressed in the same torturer outfit from the movie.
What do you think? How do I look?
And hey, remember the cell puzzle from the first level? Well, here it is again. but in reverse. Remember when I said that we talked more about how the pervs are connected to the project? Yeah, okay, so let's do that now. As it turns out, their modus operandi is to lure in various coomers around town, film themselves torturing them for fun, and then hand over any survivors to the project to be used as guinea pigs. Upon getting all the cells open, we find the mysterious woman, and things get interesting.
My God, Danny? Is that you? What are you doing here? You shouldn't have come here, Danny.
You know my name?
They'll catch you, take you back.
Tell me what's going on.
It's the project, Danny. They're everywhere.
What's going on? Leo said I should...
Leo? You've spoken to Leo?
Without Leo, I wouldn't even be here.
Okay, you told me to give you this. The old safe house.
The safe house? Where?
Above the cinema. Don't come back here, Danny. Please, just let it go.
She's setting us up, Danny.
Arriving at the red light district, Danny gets frustrated by a wall that he could easily climb.
We've got to check out that safe house.
Don't trust that.
She wanted to help.
Wanted to help? She wanted to save her own fucking neck.
I'm gonna find a way in.
Think, Danny. The project are everywhere, and they're watching. You're gonna get us both killed.
This level has to be one of my favorites. I love the gritty late-night atmosphere, and especially the background music that reminds me a little bit of The Warriors. I also really appreciate how there are civilians wandering about. At first, I expected them to attack me on sight like anyone else, but no. They don't mean you any harm unless you do something to provoke them. It's a nice touch, and it gives the player a sense of, yeah, I could bash this guy's head in, but does he actually deserve it? And even if you spook one of them, they'll usually hit you and then run off. At first, I thought this was weird. But given how dangerous this part of town is, wouldn't you be a bit on edge if some runaway asylum patient approached you in a dark alley? Take this guy for instance. The guy even ran over to some of his fellow vagabonds, presumably to keep himself safe. Eventually he realized I meant him no harm and casually strolled past me. I don't know, I just like the way the AI behaves in this level. It's interesting. Continuing our journey, we're introduced to the Cottonmouth gang who call themselves Kings. No, not those guys.
This is our fucking turf now! The Kings are taking over!
These charming gentlemen go by the Red Kings, and they're a pretty savage bunch. I think it's a huge missed opportunity that you only get to see them a few times during this level alone, because it makes them very forgettable. We're now given what is essentially a reskin of the crowbar/padlock puzzle. To get past this barbed wire fence, we'll need to find some pliers. After running around like an idiot, I realized that I had one on me this whole time, so yay! As it turns out, I got this from one of the Red Kings, so I ran back and made my way past the fence. One cool, unique detail to a couple of these environmental executions is that you hide the body in the process. We then get to see this lovely Colgate ad.
The new Colgate Total Active Prevention System. Be dentist ready with Colgate Total.
Carrying on, if you thought the Red Kings were bad, here's what the local street cops are like. After taking down the two cops, I was then punished by Satan for ogling a dancer. Entering an adult store, I took out a watchdog that was there for some reason, I would assume on his off time. Initially, I wanted to eliminate the perv running the joint, but upon realizing that the poor guy only has about 4 voice lines, I took pity on him and decided to let him live. We navigate through the shop and accidentally knock down a makeshift bridge. This causes us to get noticed by some watchdogs down below. I run for my life and just so happen to end up in Danny's safe house. How serendipitous. Here we get to see by far one of the ugliest cutscenes in the game, so enjoy.
Safe house. All these clippings, photos of me. I put these here to make me remember. But why? That's me and Michael. Oh my God, Michael.
Seeing this photo brings back a memory from 6 years ago.
I'm sorry, Danny, but it's gotta be this way. The Pikmin Bridge. Remove it. Get it out of my head so I can think straight. If you thought I would do that, you're out of your fucking mind. Michael? Where are we?
All units into position. Terminate both targets. Repeat, both targets.
What? Not both targets, not me, you fucking assholes!
They're gonna be here any minute. Mike's still got the keys. We're gonna have to find him.
a private militia hired by the project are after us. And despite Danny and Leo both pursuing Michael, Leo tells Danny to hang back while he chases after Michael to get the boat keys. Michael pleads with us to snap out of it and remember him, but it's no use. As Michael fends Leo off using a flare gun and heads for the exit, he's captured by the militia. This is when the game introduces an interesting stealth mechanic I felt was missing throughout most of Manhunt 1. We can use these loud machines to not only create noise, making it harder for enemies to notice us, but it also gives us the ability to do stuff like this. You have to kill all the militia members before heading outside. Leaving without doing so will result in this happening.
God damn it!
Once you've killed all but one of them, you can use the exit. This gives Michael a chance to flee while you deal with the last grunt.
Stop!
Unfortunately, this is far from the end of the militia. At this point, Manhunt 2 makes the same mistake the first game did. Instead of relying on the more creative stealth mechanics that the game is known for, it puts all of that on hold and becomes a bland third-person shooter. If I had to say something positive about this section, I'd say the headshots are pretty satisfying, both in sound and visually. We now come face to face with a puzzle. There's a gate blocking our path and a scale used to trigger some machinery. Placing a militia corpse on the scale and pushing a button, we turn him into a sugar cube and the gate opens.
I'm not gonna let you kill.
Picking up some ammo along the way, we corner Michael, headshot him, make sure he's dead for some reason. Like, I think you got him. And then we get the keys. Okay, so if Michael dies at the end anyway, then why would it matter if the militia killed him? I mean, he still has the boat keys on him. That's what we're there for. Just kill the militia members and take it. Militia reinforcements come in, so we run back to the boat, ignoring the gunshot wounds in the process.
If the project wants a war, they got one.
Cutting back to that hideous cutscene I mentioned, we find a revolver and a picture of Judy. This leads us to our next objective, finding Judy to get some more information. Before we do, we gotta find a way to get out of the safe house. You can either bust open the padlock using a crowbar, or you could just shoot it. A homeless man runs past us in a state of panic, and the John Carpenter-esque soundtrack kicks in. I very awkwardly fight my way through a pack of watchdogs. Get a shotgun, and then fail miserably at learning the execution mechanic for guns. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that. They added executions for guns. I mean, they're guns, so they're loud. It kind of defeats the point, but hey, cool. Surviving an ambush at the movie theater, Danny's fed up, and so he idiotically tosses the gun away, and then walks off to the next location. I don't know, you should probably hold on to that.
What do you mean you volunteered for an experiment? You can't play God with your own mind.
We've tested it. It's safe. It's just the final part of the process.
You're gambling with your life. What about me and the kids?
Look, if it's a success, we can clear all our debts and start a new life.
Turning yourself into a psycho? What are you thinking?
This is a real chance to change the course of medical history.
Stop fighting!
What's wrong, Mom?
Come here, honey.
Son, we still love each other.
You're asking too much of us, Danny. Of yourself.
What does psycho mean?
It just means someone who thinks differently.
Can't you see that you have to put your family first?
I am putting them first. If this all works out, we'll be providing for our great-grandchildren.
This is so wrong,
Danny. Project Danny. They're
His
everywhere.
conditioning has fractured. He's unstable.
Daddy, what's wrong?
You can wake up now, Daniel.
I said wake up!
Judy?
I don't believe this shit. Danny, this is crazy. She's no use to us.
She knows more than she's saying. I've got to talk to her again.
Arriving at the Bee's Honeypot Brothel, we get this bizarre interaction.
Can I help you?
I'm looking for Judy.
Wait a minute. I'll check to see. Wait here. Hey, buddy. Don't go snooping, all right? Why don't you stay where I can see you, tough guy? There's a guy here asking for Judy. Glasses. 10 minutes? No problem, sir. We'll keep him entertained.
What's unique about this execution is how the other person on the line can hear that something's gone wrong. So either way, the people there are going to be looking for you.
Danger, danger! You haven't
Okay, so I then came across this gate. The model is a copy-paste from the asylum, and it only gives you like 3 seconds to go through. Did the people working here just break into a full sprint whenever they need to use this thing? Another odd detail that I noticed at this point is how hunters have voice lines where they'll scream extensively when shot. It makes me wonder if this is an intentional detail or if the programmers got some voice lines mixed up. Whatever. At least I figured out how to do the gun executions. Hearing all of this commotion, Judy runs off, and we fight our way through more watchdogs. We crawl through a vent, do some platforming, and land on top of the elevator Judy's in. Someone named Pikmin threatens her over the phone, so she just quits, I guess? We then confront her and get this cutscene.
There she is.
Stay away from me!
No! I need to talk to you!
I can't trust Leo.
Don't listen to her, Danny.
I've helped you all I can, Danny. Don't trust anybody, especially...
No!
You can actually see her clipping through the ground in this pre-rendered cutscene. I'm not gonna give you a pass for that one, Rockstar. 0 out of 10.
It's the project! Move!
No!
It's okay.
No!
It's okay, I've got you. Come on.
The sound of gunshots seemed to have brought back another memory from 6 years ago. Now, credit where it's due, it's actually a clever way of both kickstarting this next section and tying it together via sound mixing.
We need backup here! If you get a visual, shoot to kill!
You were right. We got him.
See, you just gotta trust me, Danny.
I got a visual on the shooter!
Let's move out.
I can handle it, Leo.
Even though Danny says that he can handle it and we both see them exiting the room together, we start playing as Leo standing by the window. You take out the militia, head into a room full of cubicles, break a window, and use a lift to get to the next floor. After wasting a couple hunters, you can loot the place for some goodies. You reach the next floor, and instead of heading inside, you're supposed to turn around and escape via the rooftops. We get a hold of a sniper rifle, pop some militia members, and immediately get disappointed after finding out you can't take out the helicopter. Again, this is when the game decides to become a third-person shooter. I don't get why. It's a stealth horror game. Be a stealth horror game. It's fine. That's why I'm playing this. The helicopter spots us. I guess bullets pinging off the window wasn't seen as anything out of the ordinary. We get to another building, kill more mercenaries, make our way downstairs, kill more mercenaries, and find this van blocking our exit. Okay, now I'm curious. Were all of these mercenaries just smushed together in there? I also noticed this spiral symbol on the back door. Now this can only mean one out of two things. Either this is the makings of John Kramer, or it's the project. I mean, we already knew the project was behind all this, but still, it's a nice attention to detail.
No!
There's no time for this. Move!
What's going on?
Bounty hunters, they're after us. There's a price on our head.
My hands!
What's done is done. Come on!
Thankfully, the game didn't lead us into a sewer section. Is there anyone who actually enjoys that in video games? Instead, we spawn in a quiet neighborhood before getting ambushed yet again.
It's a trap! Get out of here! Run!
Upon getting inside the storage unit, we quickly find ourselves getting surrounded at all fronts, and using a conveniently placed crowbar, we bust open a trapdoor and crawl our way out. This is when we meet a brand new gang, the Bloodhounds. They're a bit like the militia, but, you know, I'm trying my best to describe them without making it political, as people often complain about, but there's no way around it. They're a gang of hooded far-right gun-toting lunatics. What do you want me to say? If nothing else, it at least makes killing them very satisfying. Hey, viewer, remember when I thanked the game for not putting us in a bland sewer section? Yeah, never mind that. The only way to escape is to fend off against the Bloodhounds and turn the crank.
Turn the crank. Turn the crank.
We kill some more Bloodhounds and then find out that, unlike Manhunt 1, you can't destroy trash bags to get painkillers. Why do you do this to me, Manhunt 2? You introduce a cool new thing, but then also deny me something cool from the original. Anyway, here's by far the most incompetent jump scare ever.
You've become a bigger killer than I ever could! I'm fucking proud of you, brother!
Arriving in some guy's backyard, his kid spots me from the inside. Seeing as he's got a kid, I tried running away. I was really hoping the guy would have enough sense to back away from the fight after I fired an Uzi everywhere, but no. Sorry, kid, I tried. Yet a goddamn again, we go through the sewers. And then over here, Otto Tyler from Bully? No, really, it's the same actor.
Show me some ID first. You can't just walk in and start dishing out orders. This isn't a police state yet.
Here you go. Good enough, idiot.
Considering that I'm a huge Bully fan and the Townies are my favorite faction, I had to avenge our fallen comrade by doing this. I think at this point you know the drill. Wham, bam, thank you ma'am, and we're out. Danny then notices a sign that brings back another memory from 6 years past.
What are we doing here?
There's a warehouse nearby, where the project keeps its old records. We're gonna destroy our past.
You can't destroy the past, Leo.
Come on. We're gonna need fuel.
This section is probably the dumbest part of the game. Alright, so the plan is to sneak inside and burn all documents of Danny and Leo. I know the flashbacks take place in 2001, but even back then, I can assure you that a secret science project big enough to hire hundreds of goons would have probably had enough documentation on their subjects than whatever's kept inside a storage facility guarded by some rent-a-cops. Digital databases existed back then, and even if somehow the project didn't have that, I find it hard to believe that they would keep all of their information on Danny and Leo in one lazily guarded location. Whatever, we find a gas station and steal a gas can. Eliminating the gas station worker, we proceed and easily take out the 2 guards along the way. Leo sets fire to a pile of papers outside, causing one of the rent-a-cops to leave his post. We hit a button, opening a copy-pasted asylum gate. Now this is when I realized just how dumb the AI is. The original Manhunt was praised for having somewhat intelligent NPCs, but the platforming feature in Manhunt 2 totally breaks the AI navigation. I mean, just look at this.
Hey! Hey! You got an escape plan? Stop! Stop! Hey! Hey! You got an escape plan? Stop! Stop! It's over! You're trapped! I'm gonna clobber you!
We dispose of the simpletons and head inside the storage facility. This is when we come across an interesting obstacle. The metal detector. Walking through it will make it beep a few times. Now this works both ways. If you go through it, then it'll notify nearby hunters of your whereabouts. But if they walk through it, then you'll have a good idea of where they're at. We find a crowbar and use it to get inside the storage unit containing all the files. He sets fire to it, the school bell from Bully rings, and some watchdogs are alerted to our location. You clear a path and then use another nearby gas canister to set fire to Danny's records.
Our history is officially erased. Now we can be whoever we want.
I don't know what's dumber, the writing during this part or the project keeping all their eggs in one basket like this. Anyway, back in the present, Danny is kind of losing it.
Keep it together, Danny.
I can't handle these blackouts.
It's all right. I'll take care of everything. Come on, let's get going.
Hello? Where is that idiot of a man?
That's him. That's Pikmin.
Pikmin?
Well, alright, let's find a way inside.
To be expected. He was the very best. Are you ready, in case?
2 squads of our finest agents are waiting to say hello.
Good. I'll bolt the animal lab from the inside. Remember, alive if you can manage it. If not, get the head to me as soon as possible.
I assume by finest agents, he just meant that they do side gigs in modeling or something, because I was able to kill 4 of them using nothing but a stun rod.
Take it, motherfuckers! Take it!
Inside the museum, I found a funny little detail the developers added. Huh. Neat. Okay, so there's a secret lab underneath the museum, and I'm just gonna be honest, I took way too long to figure out how to get inside it. While running around like a headless chicken, I found that there's, interestingly enough, a different path you can take to sneak inside. Instead of going through the office and making your way inside via a blocked off vent, you can just climb through an open window. I like how the watchdogs have a bunch of people patrolling the place, but nobody thought to block off this giant entrance. But like I said, I took an embarrassingly long amount of time to figure this one out, but eventually, finally I realized that you're supposed to climb on top of this vent and use a crowbar to pry it open. As we crawl through the vent, we can see some chimps being experimented on, which raises an important question. Have you people not seen 28 Days Later?
The Subject A is far too dominant. If we take the bridge out now, the latent personality will be lost forever.
I know, you fool. I invented it.
This voice right here is actually the same actor used for Leo's placeholder voice lines during development.
What happened here?
The project happened here. We need to get your flashlight.
You know, it's nice to see that the actor ended up being given his own character.
Dr. Lamb?
Don't dare speak that name to me. I am in control, and we will prevail.
We get inside a storage room. Pikmin uses an eye scanner thing to enter deeper into the lab. A dog in a cage ended up freaking out and alerting a couple scientists, so I made quick work of them. The door leading to the place we need to go is locked behind a scanner, and because of the dungeon level, I instantly knew how to get past it.
No! He's right here! Clam's here. Get ready.
Everyone ready? He's coming.
After fighting his way through watchdogs, Danny finds a peculiar film.
TVMK. I watch that channel all the time.
Exactly. Come on, let's deal with Pikmin.
This is when Manhunt 2 gave me arguably one of the most simple yet impactful cutscenes in all of the series. As some of you may have inferred based on the TVMK label, the project made use of the brainwashing experiments conducted by the CIA in the 50s through 70s. By conditioning subjects to associate love, trust, and duty with fear and hate, they can remove conscience, fear, and free thought, making you capable of killing without hesitation or morals. And as you can see, Michael, Pikmin, and the scientists we just decapitated were all part of the research. Taking all of this into account, it's a pretty heavy scene. So, here's something stupid.
What seest thou else in the dark backward and abysm of time? I've induced a deep hypnotic state. I think you'll be able to handle him now. Dr. Lamb isn't going to cause us any more trouble.
Where can you run to now, huh? You're cornered like a sick dog.
There are a couple of ways of dealing with the watchdog. You can simply run up to and wail on him, or you can wait a few seconds for him to turn his back.
Could I have a word, Sergeant?
Finest men. Like the vent puzzle, it took me an embarrassingly large amount of time to figure out what to do here. You're supposed to shoot out the speakers before Pikmin's able to fully deliver a Shakespeare quote. And man, this is so stupid. For one, Pikmin sounds like the fucking Aflac duck. And what I don't understand is why Pikmin doesn't just say it really fast, or why he chose such a long quote. Would it not make sense to use something short? I'm gonna kill you, Pikmin. Obla-dee, obla-da. Ugh. Surprisingly though, the gunplay is pretty enjoyable in this section. I also like the setting and the fact that a bunch of developer names were added to the morgue. Nice little bit of credit there. I don't think any of these worked for Rockstar Vienna though. The scientist whose head we chopped off respawns, I guess? And instead of killing Pikmin, we have to sedate him. We need him alive. As soon as Pikmin tried citing the quote again, I didn't even bother making sure I landed the shot. I just blind fired and somehow successfully took him down.
Good work, Danny. I'll take it from here. You can be a little squeamish.
Daniel, please untie me.
Danny isn't here.
Leo. Where's Daniel? I'd like to have a word with him.
This is about what I want. I want you to remove the Pikmin bridge.
Think, Leo. If I take it out, what do you think will happen to you?
I'll be free.
No, you'll be dead. Now let me speak to Daniel.
Shut up! Danny's gone.
Shut up or what, Leo?
What do you think?
If you kill me, Leo, you'll be lost forever. Now let me speak to Daniel.
You're lying.
It only takes one phrase from me, Leo. Don't push
Or
me.
what, huh?
What seest thou else in the
dark, backward and abysm of time?
Michael, is he ready to go?
Motor muscles at rest. Pupillary dilatation complete.
Dr. White, pass me the sample carrier marked Leo.
But we agreed to use the control personality, not Leo. Leo is a killer.
Yes, I know what Leo was. Now, we've got one chance to make this work before they shut this project down.
Okay, Dr. Pikmin. He's ready to go.
When I came to, Leo was dragging me out of the lab. He said Pikmin was dead. I knew I could never find the key to my past. But Leo said there was another, one last person we could get answers from. We searched everywhere. Days turned into weeks. I was slowly becoming a ghost.
Sometime later, our duo is sifting through the broadcast studio for any useful information they can find.
Had enough.
No, you can't quit, Danny. There's gotta be something in these tapes I can use to help you.
Pikmin Bridge is not my work, but the work of Doctors Pikmin and Lamb. After initial failure,
Dr.
the
White?
military gave
Who?
the project a massive
We're gonna have to deal with her, Danny.
Now, the project is about managing what has become a disaster. One personality in the process of destroying everything it comes into contact.
The Bloodhound Gang breaks in, and we discover the bloody remains of the TV crew.
Look at this. A massacre. What happened?
Who cares? They were all working for the project.
You're not telling me the whole story, Leo.
I tell you the whole story and your brain would implode. Trust me.
Alright, fair enough. Back to slaughtering people. As we make our escape through a talk show set, the game's tone suddenly makes a shift to dark comedy as getting headshots will somehow trigger audience sound effects. Eventually, we get to a set used for what appears to be a children's TV show. It's possibly one of the most disturbing areas of the game, as you can hear a woman moaning in the background while cartoony sound effects play on a loop. As a nod to the original game, we can also see the white rabbit hanging from the ceiling. I don't know if this is canonically the same character, but it's unsettling to say the least. We then come across this old western set that even has an animated intro sequence you can watch.
This is the story of a ranch that lies between love, duty, trust, and hate.
I really like this detail. It's an effective callback to the hypnosis cutscene, and it conveys how seemingly inconsequential TV shows are used to control the minds of project subjects. After arriving at a garage full of easily exploded cars, we clear a path and go outside. This takes us to what appears to be a set used for the 5 Past High Noon show. At least, that's what I think it is. The place is full of lighting and camera equipment. We pick up a crossbow, snipe some bloodhounds, and pipe crawl to an odd puzzle. Okay, so there's a hay bale suspended in the air, and there's also a bunch of hunters guarding a crank. So naturally, you'd think, oh, I kill them and then turn the crank. But no, you're actually supposed to snipe the rope holding the hay bale, thus causing it to fall down and giving you access to climb into the barn. Climbing into the barn, you take out more hunters, causing them to flee. But after sniping more of them, we find out that it was all an elaborate setup. Dr. White robotically takes off running, and we have to turn the crank to follow her.
Behind you!
But alas, this was also an elaborate setup. As Danny wakes up in some type of hospital facility, he finds that his only companion, Leo, has gone missing.
Leo?
Leo! Leo!
Dr. White then shows up and gives us some exposition.
You can talk to Leo anytime you want, Danny. But first, let's you and I talk.
What's going on?
Do you remember who you were, Danny?
No.
Do you remember the work we did?
No.
You believed we could take a normal individual and implant a second personality, triggered at will. Our intention was to create the perfect weapon, a killer with no conscience or memory. Does he sound familiar, Danny?
Leo.
Two minds in one body unaware of each other.
Wait, that's not right. Leo and I talk all the time.
The bridge malfunctioned early on. We were working to repair the damage when you, or Leo, decided to escape.
I see.
I don't. You mean to tell me that you kept me in the filthiest and most inhumane location imaginable, all so that you could find a way to remove the Pikmin bridge? Not to mention, you took your sweet time doing it. Danny spent 6 years being tormented by sadistic orderlies. Ugh, whatever.
How do we fix this?
Pikmin thought his mercenaries could destroy Leo. I believe the only person who can stop him is you.
Now this brings us to another flashback level. After killing Michael, assassinating a project investor, and torching the documents the project had on Leo and Danny, the local police department are scanning Daniel's neighborhood for him. I have some mixed feelings on this level.
I've got some unfinished business here, Danny. Something I need to do alone. Go to the safe house and wait for me there.
What then?
Freedom, my man. Freedom.
On one hand, I like the setting. You're sneaking around all these houses, some of which have innocent civilians inside of them.
Sure, Harold. Someone's outside, so go check it out. I'm eating.
Hey, knock it off.
There's also a smidge of free exploration going on where you can get into people's garages and find weapons. You can set off car alarms, the plastic bag makes a return, and sometimes the local residents will chase after you if they spot you. And just like before, I tried leaving one of them alive. I just smacked him around until he was on the ground, hopefully proving my point. But stupidly enough, he just kept coming after me no matter what.
Okay, I was willing to mind my own business. I was willing to respect your territory and treat you like a man, but you couldn't leave it alone, could you? You couldn't let a man sit here for 5 minutes and take a rest on your precious piece of shit hill?
Getting past the fence, we get spotted by a couple of SWAT guys. You run like hell, and the SWAT team chases after you.
All units, low!
Alright, took care of you. I'm just gonna put you over here and... oh. Well, this is awkward. Leo shoots his way through cops, hides in the shadows, and completes a buggy dot inside circle minigame while the hunter just leaves. Can we just delete this from the game, please? Evidently, even NPCs don't care about this thing. We climb a fence, and finally, we're here. Daniel's home. After playing in the backyard, we make one hell of an entrance, and then the big reveal happens. Danny killed his fammy. Or, well, Leo did, by taking control of Danny.
Daniel, you will not remember anything before this moment. You will not remember us being here. You will never speak to Leo again. A little too effective, I feel. Get him out of here. Remove the cameras, torch the house.
To provide for his family and secure their future, Daniel volunteered to be a test subject for the Pikmin bridge experiment. When the bridge malfunctioned after being implanted in Daniel, Leo was able to, at least sometimes, take full control. And after failing to persuade Michael into removing the Pikmin bridge, he killed off Michael and then gaslit Danny, I guess, into shooting the project investor. And ultimately, he made his way to Daniel's home and murdered Daniel's Sims 2 looking wife. This is why Daniel choked Dr. White at the beginning. He was under Leo's control. So yeah, I guess when he said we did it, yeah. But still, there was a lightning strike. How do you control that? Was that part of the plan? This all explains why Judy was so horrified when Daniel mentioned speaking to Leo. It's why nobody but Daniel seems to react to Leo's presence. And I would assume it's also why you hear Daniel grunting when Leo takes damage. When Leo said, there's gotta be something in these tapes I can use, he was trying to find someone other than Michael or Pikmin to intimidate into removing the Pikmin bridge, allowing him to fully take over Daniel's mind and body. It's why the dancer in the red light district turns into Daniel's dead wife, and why you can briefly see her during the level Ghosts. Fortune, fame, mirror, vein, Lamb's insane, but the memory remains. So, who is Leo? Prior to the events of Manhunt 2, Leo Kasper was brainwashed by the project into becoming a cold-blooded assassin for the government. The project being a government agency dedicated to creating the ultimate killer, somebody with no fear, remorse, or sense of morality. At some point, Leo became so vicious that even the government was like, fuck this, and presumably had him killed. And Pikmin, being the opportunist he is, implanted Leo's personality in Daniel, despite Dr. White's objections. Here's a cool fact. When Rockstar marketed Bully 2, Jesus Christ, that was not even part of the script, just force a habit. When Rockstar marketed Manhunt 2, they released a couple of audio recordings that give us some insight into Daniel and Leo. And I gotta say, the acting is top-notch.
I read your dossier. I am fully aware of your expertise in assassination. But to turn on your own employers, the people who trained you...
No, we're the good guys. Right, I forgot. We're the good clandestine government agency that slithers its way in every facet of American life. Right, okay. Got it. You see, good and evil are for those wage slaves out there that you control, but no one controls me.
Leo, what?
Dogs bark, babe. Snakes crawl, Leo kills. This is a surprise to you? You fuckers created me.
Grass grows, birds fly, sun shines, and brother, I hurt people.
Stop it, Leo. Sit down.
You better call them right now, because I see another fucking dead doctor in my future.
Get back! Get back! Security!
I'll show you, fucker! Come here! I think I have extreme anterograde amnesia with bursts of dissociative fugue states due to trauma, probably memory distrust.
That's one way to put it, yes. Impressive, Danny.
Why am I restrained? What's going on? Tell me!
You have only a few minutes of clear cognitive processing before your amnesia returns. And I need to ask you a question.
My whole life was dedicated to the project. I thought I was appreciated. I thought I was doing the right thing, but it all funnels down to defense stuff and weapons. Defending America from God knows fucking what. I was creating killing machines. My family deteriorated before my very eyes.
Leo, even though he's a bit of a mega edgelord neat, comes across as cold, calculating, and furious at the project for keeping him in Dixmoor Asylum. Daniel, on the other hand, is confused and scared, yet polite and articulate. He's in a perpetual state of amnesia and frequently experiences fugue states. In the present, Daniel refuses to get rid of Leo, saying that Leo saved his life. Yeah, I'm not sure when that happened. If anything, Leo got Daniel dragged into all kinds of dangerous situations. Oh, and speaking of contradictions, would you look at that? Dr. White hands Daniel a dossier containing all kinds of information on Daniel, including his home, wife, and kids. Wow, yeah, it's almost like torching those documents was a huge waste of time. Who'da thunk? As nonsensical as some of this is, I like how the scene ties everything together.
And those were my kids?
Yes, and they are fine, by the way.
And my wife? What?
This is going to be painful, Danny, but I think you should see for yourself. This will help you understand why you must let go of Leo.
Jesus, Danny, you're scaring me! Danny! Let go of me, Danny!
Danny isn't here. I'll be taking care of him from now on.
Alright, so the only way to remove Leo from the equation is to, enter the depths of his own mind and kill Leo. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what the writers were trying to communicate with this level, but knowing that the jig is up, Leo wants to fight Daniel so that he can take control over Daniel's mind and body. As we look for a crowbar to make our way past the door, Leo randomly pops out, crowbar in hand and ready to spill blood. Fighting him off is a complete waste of time. What you need to do is find syringes and use them to perform executions on him. Once you've done 3 executions, Leo will drop the crowbar, giving you a chance to break the padlock and continue. Ghost variants of the watchdogs show up, and I guess I'm supposed to feel bad for killing them? Yeah, I don't.
This is what we call dissociative identity disorder in its most brutal form.
What? No, it's not. Reaching the other side of the underground passage, we meet Michael and Pikmin.
I was continuing our research, Daniel. I didn't deserve to die. There's still work to be done.
Huh. Well, I guess Michael is giving us the silent treatment. Anyhow, we kill Michael and Pikmin and then move on to the next location.
Here are some more of your victims to chew on.
Gee, thanks. More gunplay. But yeah, we have a bland corridor shooter segment and then head outside. And at this point, we witness Leo again killing our wife. Sarah, I think?
It wasn't your fault, Danny. I don't blame you. Lay me to rest and be free.
Okay, so now you have to carry Sarah's body over to an open grave. Leo infinitely respawns and rushes up to you, so it's a good idea to aim for headshots instead of spraying him. On my way, I was blocked off by a locked gate, and instead of allowing me to shoot the lock, the game of course ignores it because I'm on the wrong side, I guess. We get to the other side, shoot the lock, and then carry our dead wife to the grave. Daniel shovels a modicum of dirt on her, and I guess that's good enough. Burial complete.
You think it's that easy to get rid of me? I made you.
I could be you, but I have a choice. A choice! And I choose to be me!
Who the fuck wants to be Daniel Lamb?
I do!
You see? You can't get rid of me. Can never get
My name is Daniel Lamb.
My name is Daniel Lamb!
My name is... I don't know my name.
And with all that done, Danny wakes up, not remembering who he is or how he ended up on this road.
Your name is David Joyner. You live downtown at the following address. You'll find everything you need there. Good luck. 526 Hope Street, Apartment B.
It remains unknown if Danny reunited with his son and daughter, but, you know, given how many people he killed, I would assume they're in foster care. Credits roll and we get some late beta footage of the game for some reason. Apparently, Daniel's model was initially used for the Pikmin death scene. The game then spoils the alternate ending by showing us a beta version of that. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, there's an alternate ending. By getting a certain amount of scores on specific levels, you can play a bonus level, resulting in a different ending. This level is called Release Therapy, and it's played from Leo's point of view.
Lol.
Rot in hell, Leo.
We lure the guard into our cell by making some noise and use the barrel full of water to execute him. This is almost as bad of a security system as the one in Dixmoor. We kill off a bunch of asylum inmates and navigate through the mansion. And at this point, I'm just so tired of the shooting sections. I get that Rockstar wanted to amp up the action in this game, but I despise the gunplay. It's serviceable at best, but it ruins the horror vibe and turns half of the levels into cover shooters. Finally, we get to the end and confront Daniel.
You think you can get rid of me? You goddamn runt. I'm the one who belongs here, who deserves to be here. You're nothing. Without me, you'd be nothing.
I just have to ignore you, Leo. And you know it.
Ignore me? How about your wife's blood on your hands? Can you ignore that?
Shut up.
You made me. You put me in your own head for the sake of your pathetic career.
Shut up!
And you cut your wife's throat right in front of her baby boy.
Ah, fuck
fucking kill you, you psycho piece of shit!
A bunch of books start flying everywhere for some reason, and I get the feeling that there was supposed to be some kind of epic background music here. But as for how you kill Daniel, it's even worse than the section leading up to it. You just spam him with bullets. That's it. That's the big showdown. It's such a wasted opportunity to get creative with all the established stealth mechanics. You just hold down the fire button until you win. It's so disappointing. But hey, at least Daniel has a cool death scene.
Fuff, I won. Fuck you, Pikmin. Fuck you, White. Fuck the project. I won.
Daniel. You can wake up now, Daniel. Dr. Lamb, can you hear me? Dr. Lamb, how do you feel? I followed the protocols exactly as you left them.
How long was I out?
You've been out for 3 weeks now. I took the decision to remove the Pikmin Bridge. It was the only way we could be sure. We're very keen to resume work on the project. Shall I gather the staff?
Yes. Just give me a moment.
As you can see, Leo won. The Pikmin Bridge was removed, Daniel's personality is gone, and no one is aware of the fact that Leo is still in there. Only now, he's in full control. Roll the credits. The end. More beta footage. I really think it would have been better if the ending you got was determined by how vicious you were in your playthrough. How many red executions you did, how many civilians you killed, and how many headshots you got. You know, the more brutal you act, the more Daniel loses grip on reality, and the more powerful Leo gets. Having this ending serve as an unlockable bonus level is better than nothing, I guess, but I feel like it completely undercuts the impact of the scene when you know it's a non-canon afterthought. During development, Rockstar had to cut a lot of ideas they had initially intended for the game. Some fans believe that Leo was supposed to be a separate person from Daniel, but that this was scrapped. Hence why you can see Danny and Leo both climbing the wall in the Wii version of the game, whereas the PS2 and PC versions only have Daniel climbing the wall. There's even an unused beta cutscene where Leo's tied up and sedated, and Daniel fails at setting him free. Fans have also argued that this is why you on rare occasions can see Leo in the background of certain levels. I don't think this at all contradicts Daniel hallucinating him. If anything, I think Rockstar should have given us more instances of Leo scouting ahead and leading Danny around. As I said many a times throughout this video, my main gripe with Manhunt 2 has to do with stealth often taking a backseat to gunplay. There were some occasional moments where I was being pursued by hunters, and I quickly improvised either a distraction or a place to hide. That was fun, that was cool. The level design is top-notch, and I think Rockstar did a phenomenal job at placing you in these filthy and off-putting environments. Let me enjoy that. Let me feel disgusted, paranoid, and creeped out. It's a psychological horror game. That's what I'm there for. I want there to be tense and disturbing moments where I feel like the enemies are a force to be reckoned with. Making Daniel a better fighter than James Earl Cash and constantly planning me in these shootout sequences takes away from that experience. It's like the game hesitates and doubts its own gimmick. Like, you're fine, Manhunt 2. Quit trying to be something you're not. Be a stealth horror game. That's what I like about you. I wouldn't mind shooting sequences in this game if it wasn't so abundant. I just hate it when sequels in horror games up the action and downplay the horror. You have something good here. Expand on that instead of turning it into an action spectacle. The censorship Manhunt 2 had to endure also held it back in a lot of ways. I know there are mods out there that remove the filters on the executions, but just look at how ugly and blurry this looks unmodified on the original PS2. This is what people had to put up with.
Danny, this is crazy!
There's a reason why so many of the Manhunt 2 videos you find on YouTube are labeled uncut and uncensored. I've considered doing a video on Rockstar Vienna, you know, the studio that was initially working on the game before being suddenly shut down by Take-Two Interactive. There's a lot of mystery surrounding that, and according to a developer blog, they showed up for work one day and were told by security to leave the premises. And that was it. Bye.
Just poof, gone. So sad.
Suffice it to say that Manhunt 2's development was rushed and not ideally handled. So yeah, just let me know if you guys want me to do a video on that. But with all that said, I give Manhunt 2 58 out of 100 beam colas. It might not sound that bad, but by Rockstar standards, it's a huge decline in quality, making this, in my view at least, Rockstar's most disappointing game. The story felt rushed, the action kept pushing horror aside, the cutscenes looked unfinished, the soundtrack was severely lacking near the end, and the final 2 levels were uninteresting. But on the bright side, the voice acting is solid, the tone is on point, the sound design is great, and there were some occasional moments of genuine tension that had me on edge. Although a part of me wants to be more forgiving considering the censorship Rockstar had to deal with, it ultimately cannot override how let down I felt by the time I got to the end credits. And as for further installments in the series go, I would actually like to see Rockstar make Manhunt 3 someday. There's still a lot of potential left to explore, and it would add some much needed variety to their catalog as of late. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Subscribe if you haven't already, give this video a like, yada yada. Anyway, that's it for this video. You folks, as always, stay classy. Peace. Well, there you have it. Quite possibly the biggest video that I've ever done, in this style at least. And of course, I am wearing my Manhunt t-shirt, custom made. Props to Valiant Merchant for sending me that as a gift. Thank you. It took quite a lot of time to make, so if you guys want to give this video a like, that'd be greatly appreciated. You can also let me know in the comments below what you think of the game. Before I leave, I want to thank my channel members for supporting what I do on YouTube, especially with a project of this magnanimosity. So a big thank you to Ben Struble, Jake Johnson, Yippee, GreenX, Riley Who, Wardog1220, Zarpies, BardyXOfficial, Double X2, Andre, Majin151, Nerds Need Love Too, they do, Super Wired Cat, Rally Baked 24, Cartel 14, Benji Briggs, Adam Lesnar, Sean McCabe, Jamcast, and Crimson Mask. Thank you. If any of you watching want to get shoutouts at the end of my videos just like this and support my efforts in making more videos like this one, then please consider becoming a channel member. It helps me out a lot, and I am gonna be moving pretty soon. You know, I mentioned living in not the best place. Fortunately, I will be moving to a way better place soon. However, moving is expensive. So again, please consider supporting this channel. Thank you, and have an awesome day. Peace.